I'd like to introduce you the product manager from Niantic Labs, and they are, can you play the movie please? And they are doing stuff like that. So just filming a lot of people outside in the real world, but they are playing Ingress, and I hope every one of you knows about Ingress. Ingress, or it's Google Ingress, is a huge game set in the world actually, and it's getting bigger and bigger, and Anne Beuttenmülle is here to explain what Google Ingress is and how it works and why we all should play this. This is Anne, and she's standing there. This is I found that footage and I thought that would be nice to show around. And so please welcome everyone. This is Anne Beuttenmülle, product manager by Niantic Labs.
Thanks
Cheers.
a lot. Thank you very much, Daniel, for this very nice warm welcome. Yeah, I'm the product marketing manager here for Europe for Ingress. So yeah, as Daniel already said, I work for Niantic Labs. Niantic Labs is a small startup within Google, and we are developing this augmented reality game called Ingress. And for those of you who don't know Ingress, I want to show you a short video.
What was the net effect of the Niantic project? We had crossed a threshold in which global security could be at risk. Decrypting the data was the mistake.
This is not psychosis or some cognitive break, but an actual takeover of the mind.
Much of the public sculpture found in our cities is based on design seeded in the human mind.
Certain places have an energy that not only attracts people, but attracts events.
The mission of 13 Magnus is to monitor the effects of mind hacking. Obviously, this will be done with the highest of security, to make sure that the ideas do not contaminate or threaten humanity.
This all leads to Niantic.
I know that many tools will be needed to fight this battle.
You just have to know where to look and know what you're seeing.
Portals emit exotic matter into our world, and that matter has certain effects on our world.
I started noticing that there were energy fields, anomalies on Earth all around me.
A few of them exhibit properties that are as yet unexplained.
I know that there are others out there.
What if they're already among us, but we don't realize it?
And I must be prepared to work with them or fight them. They are coming. Something's wrong out there in the world. This doesn't feel like a scientific study.
The one hope lies in understanding what happened at Niantic.
Not all mysteries are solvable, but the joy comes in the pursuit.
So Ingress turns the world into a giant game. So it's an augmented reality game. That means that we put a virtual layer on the top of the real world, and you can access this layer only with your smartphone. And there are several benefits to this. So the first one is you have to move and play. So you cannot play in front of your computer or in front of your TV. You really have to move, you have to walk, and you have to bike to play this game. Next one is urban exploration. So if you start playing Ingress, you will find places or see places which you have never seen before. And the third one is you will team up with other players. So you cannot really play Ingress alone. So you will definitely meet other players to play together Ingress. So what is exactly Ingress? So let's start first with the scanner app. This is what we call the app. After downloading the scanner app or the app for your iPhone or for your Android phone, you have to choose one of two factions. So there the Resistance and there the Enlightened. Both factions are battling for global domination. Based on your location, you have to move and you have to interact with landmarks, with real existing landmarks. We call those landmarks in the game portals. And this is what you see here in the picture below, what this guy is doing. This is a player. He's standing in front of a portal or a statue, and he's interacting with his smartphone with the statue. Right now, he's capturing the statue for his faction. Players can team up, they can link portals. If you link 3 portals, you are creating fields within the game. So let me show you how this looks like from above. So this is the Intel map. This gives you an overview of what is happening in the world. So this is how you can observe the world of Ingress. So all the blue and green dots are portals which are built from players all over the world. So you can watch in real time what is happening right now on the ground. You also can communicate with players. So this is like a chat where you can communicate with other players with the same faction only, or you can choose to communicate also with your opposite faction, with the green or blue players. But not only globally, you can also observe locally of what is happening. And here you see the Pariser Platz, Brandenburger Gate. Brandenburger Gate is, of course, a portal. Right now it's blue, it's captured by the resistance. If you wait a while and watch this map, you will see the color changing back and forth, back and forth. You see also green. These are portals captured, or landmarks, the statues captured by the Enlightened. And here you can really good see that those portals are linked, and 3 portals linked, they create a field. The gray portals are not captured, so if you see a gray portal, you can go there and capture this for your faction. You can also communicate locally with your players, so you can communicate with players only in this range, so only close to Brandenburger Gate and Pariser Platz. So you can observe globally and locally of what is happening in the world of Ingress. But apart from the app and the Intel map, we have a very rich story. So Ingress is embedded in a huge story. And this story influences the app and vice versa. So let me give you a very brief overview of what the story is about. So the story is about an energy that has been discovered from different scientists on Earth. And those scientists were founding a project, so-called Niantic project, to do research with this energy. And after a while, the scientists got different opinions about this energy. So some scientists were thinking this energy brings something good for mankind. So we call them the Enlightened. And some other scientists, they're a little bit more skeptical. They think, let's see what this energy brings, so let's do more research. And we call them the Resistance. And having this story, so there's a very rich story with many different characters, having the stories, that gives us a way to interact with our audience in a different way. So let me give you an example. This lady here in the middle, this is Devra. Devra Bogdanovich is a biology quantum physician and also an XM, so this energy researcher. So we were telling the story last quarter that Devra is working on a portal virus. And this portal virus would eliminate all portals. So this was a real threat for all players because no portals, no ingress anymore. So we were making Devra communicating to our players via social channels like Google+. So we changed a little bit the game mechanic in the app so player could feel that something is happening. And we were making Devra talking to the players. So like here in this post you see, she said, you will never get there, and even if you get there, my next portal virus will be stronger. And we were telling the players, if you team up and reach a certain amount of points in the game, you can fight Devra. And this was really cool to see of what is happening with the players. They were teaming up, they were really like fighting and playing together, and they reached this amount of point, and so they won, and the portals are still there in the game. So what we also do is bringing those actors to real-life events. So very big and important thing is doing real-life events, or real events, which one? There's one you see here. So the actors are making an appearance at those events, and players can talk to her, interact with her. So there's another lady. This is the lady you see on the top. This is Susanna. Susanna is like an investigator and journalist. And she is giving weekly updates on YouTube about what is happening in the world of Ingress. So she's giving you new updates about new feature releases. She's giving you updates about the story. She's also giving you updates about what is happening, what are players doing in the world of Ingress. So players team up and do like operations, and they're submitting us their so-called situation reports to Google+. So we take them and put them into the Ingress report, and we release it every week. And today we are going to release the latest report, so every Thursday. If players start the game new and they want to catch up with the story, we published 3 books, which you see over there. Those books give you an overview of the whole story, and also 3 comics, which you can read to get into the story. So let me summarize. Ingress is a massive multiplayer augmented reality game which you can play in real time and with your smartphone only. You have to go out and move and meet other players. And there's a really rich story behind Ingress, and the story influences the game and vice versa. So we launched Ingress 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago, November 15th, 2012. So let me give you a brief overview of what we have learned when we're looking back. So first, let's start with some numbers. We have more than 7 million downloads in 200 countries, over 200 countries, and we have 2.5 million followers on Google+. So Google+ is the most important communication channel for us to communicate with the players and to stay in touch with the players. So we have more than 5,000 local communities. This is how players organize themselves, how they organize events and cool operations. We have seen more than 500 million portal hacks, so interaction with these physical landmarks, and more than 2 million portal submissions. So if you start playing and you see a nice statue and you realize in your scanners, in your app, that this is not a portal, you can submit this portal. And if this portal or the statue matches our criteria, it will become a part of the game. But apart from the numbers, or despite from the numbers, what impresses me most is really the hunger for social. It's really cool to see what players are doing, that they want to meet other players, that they become friends. On this picture you see an international team. They were working online on a big operation. They have never seen each other before. And some weeks ago in Munich, where we were doing this big player event, they were meeting the first time. And here you see players from Germany, from Russia, from Belarus, from Austria, Switzerland, and France. So this is really cool to see. And so let me explain you how we make people meet in the game. It's a very small, but I think a genius detail. So if you level up in the game, and if you reach a certain level, we make it hard for you to get the highest in-game items. So if you reach level 8 and you want to get level 8 items, the most powerful items in the game, you can not only go there on your own to a portal, which you have to make level 8 portal out of it. You have to have 7 other people with you to go to a portal, to this statue, to build the highest portal in the game. And then if you have built this highest level in the game, you get your level 8 items. So you need to team up with 8 people, go with 8 people to this statue or to this portal, to build it up, the highest portal which you can get in the game, to get the in-game items, the highest in-game items you can get. So let me show you what dimension this takes. There's another video. So this was our biggest event we ever had 6 weeks ago in Munich, with 2,200 players coming from all over the world to play together for 4 hours by walking through Munich and capturing portals. This was really amazing. Yeah, but apart from our official events, we do like every 2 weeks or monthly basis all over the world. We see players meeting on a daily basis, like they're doing barbecues, picnics. They meet for doing like farming tours to get new items. They're doing like field art operations. So I've told you that you can create fields if you connect 3 portals. You can, create like figures on the intermap. You can write a name, or you can create a boat or whatever. So players start getting creative and creating pictures on the intermap. So this is what they're doing really on a daily basis. This is something really cool. So we see players or agents, we call the players agent in the game, climbing up the mountains, capturing the portal. So here in the circle you see this, the statue. This is a close-up, and this is how the statue, the portal, looks in the scanner. So this guy was climbing up the mountains to capture this portal to build those fields on the top of the mountain, which is pretty amazing, I think. And there's another cool thing, another adventure. So we have this rule that links cannot cross each other. So if you want to throw up a 20-kilometer link, you have to make sure that there are no blocking links in between. So this lady, she woke up and she wanted to throw a green link, but she saw this blocking link here, the blue line you can see. And there was no other way but capturing, getting an airplane to capture this portal to take this link down. So this is what she actually did. She was getting into the airplane, she flew to Alaska to take down this portal to throw her green link up. Isn't it amazing? Another cool thing we see here. So these are players who are ramping up their vehicles. So this is a car, this is a motorcycle, this is an airplane, this is a helicopter, this is a baby stroller, and a wheelchair. So agents become very creative in playing the game and how to play the game, and to explore their city and their neighborhoods. So this is really, really amazing. So when I'm on Google Plus and checking the stream, I get always overwhelmed of the creativity of players, how they are playing the game. So now I was giving you some insights. I think it's cool also to see what Ingress means to the players. So the last video.
Leaked Niantic technology under the codename Ingress has allowed ordinary citizens to interact with XM. Agents converged on Portland, Oregon. Another confrontation occurred in Milan, Italy. Following the events in San Francisco, it is clear that XM is a very real thing.
Weapons will not always win a war. Sometimes it is the hearts of men and numbers.
There's some things you need to know.
Started playing as soon as I got the invite, snapped on the sneakers and just ran out of the house.
We've been through any number of iterations of our strategies, what we're going to do, where we're going to be.
Agent activity is spiking to an all-time high.
There are so many kinds of people, and they're always friendly. The community is brilliant.
I was not a gamer before.
I've made so many connections in my local community that I would have never made otherwise.
I think that the world's been ready for something like Ingress for a really long time.
But what is Ingress?
Ingress is
a giant game of capture the flag.
Where you play a video game, but in real life.
But it's not just two hills or something like that. It's
throughout the world.
There's nothing really like it out there.
Ingress is an augmented reality game.
Ingress is not a game.
The line between reality and a game and the story get blurred.
This is the kind of thing that everybody's always wanted to do, like you bring video games into real life.
Agents are being encouraged to report areas which feature unique works of art, architecture, or other unusually creative sites.
Portal is the central part of gameplay.
Maybe there's 20 in your neighborhood, maybe there's 10.
I've learned a lot of history based on the portals that I've seen.
So you find yourself going in a lot of different places, checking out a lot of new and different things that you never would have before.
I've probably lost about 15, 20 pounds at this point.
It helps break down barriers of race and gender and everything else.
It's about people gaming not only from behind a computer screen, but in real life.
This is a huge thing for the gaming industry and just for social networking in general.
It's always evolving, and I feel like we're part of that evolution.
Anything could happen. It's Ingress, you know?
The Enlightened will win.
We have to turn it off.
By the way, it's the same for me. I have never been a gamer before, but Ingress is something totally different. So when you meet people, it's really cool. The first time I met other agents next to me, it was feeling kind of scary, but after you met them, you become kind of friends because you're playing for the same faction. And this couple we met, or I met the first time, they're still our friends. So they're doing our plant sitting when we're on vacation. So this is really cool. Yeah, so you might ask yourself of what is going to happen next in the Niantic Labs team. Some of you might have heard about Endgame. Does anyone has heard about Endgame, the book that has been released by James Fry? Okay. So James Fry is an author, American author. He released his book Endgame. It's translated in, I think, 29 languages. And this book came out a few days ago. And this is one book out of a series of 3. And 20th Century Fox is making a movie out of it in 2016. And Niantic Labs, so my team is developing the next augmented reality game, and again, a very rich story. We started the story already, and the game will be released soon too. So this will be a huge project of having 3 books, the movie, and this augmented reality game. And for 2015, we are planning to open a platform for developers so that all developers can create their own game based on our platform's own location-based augmented mobile games. Yeah, that's it from my side. Thank you very much for coming. And yeah, if you have any questions, you can reach me through different social channels or drop me an email. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Anne. Those are different nerds than I used to be see, actually. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. So friends of mine, they tried to get me into the game, but that was before you released the game on iOS, actually. And they are always fighting about the Kurpark in Bad Oeynhausen, which is a really fancy place to be. So are there any questions right now to Anne about Ingress?
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
There's a question, all right?
Does the game actually make money? So how is it monetized?
Not yet, but we are in an experimental phase. We have different partners in the game. For example, Vodafone. Vodafone is the only German partner we have here, and all Vodafone stores are portal in the game. So we are thinking of, like, if a player goes to this Vodafone store or to this portal, there could be, some advertisement, like saying, "Oh, you're standing here in front of this portal right now, so why don't you go in and get something, I don't know, a discount or something." So this is the direction we are thinking of. But right now we are not, it's not monetized.
That would be really cool if it's E+ versus O2, because green and blue.
Yeah. There were some ideas about when we launched for iOS that we have Android versus iOS. This would have been fun.
But then it's not a game, then it's war.
It is already war.
I got a question. Oh. You mentioned that people who aren't gamers started to play Ingress. So do you have any kind of data or knowledge about like the player makeup, like racial, gender, like anything like that? Because I find that super interesting.
Yeah. So I mean, we see that the player are most male, mid-30, kind of nerdy or tech fans, but we see more and more women or families starting playing. For example, my son is playing too, he's 9 years old. So, and I keep on playing because, of this social mechanics, but we don't have like real data that we can give to you now.
There was another question, right? Oh.
Thank you very much for your interesting presentation. What I would wonder is, like, you have 2 parts, like these enlightenments or the residents. How is actually kind of your internal ethical code? How do they communicate? Do they meet each other, or are they separated? Or how far you go? What are the do's and don'ts actually to lead? You can lead it kind of apart or together, or what do you do in this?
I mean, the player know that they need each other. So you could not do those big player events if you have only one faction coming. So there's no battle anymore. So what we see sometimes that we have one city dominated by one faction. So we see the underdog faction creating flyers to recruit new players. So, but yeah, it's like a balanced system or balanced game. So yeah, does it answer your question?
Yes. But do you have kind of like an ethical code that you kind of you can heat up kind of a confrontation, or you can calm
Oh,
down.
you mean when player meet in real life? Or?
Yes, or you from the actually the programmers or the director side. So you influence that, or is.
I mean, we have like a terms of services or like a code of conduct, how you behave when you meet a player, but in real life. So, but it happens not very often that player get, I don't know, angry with each other because they know. I mean, if you see someone face to face, it's different than you are in the virtual world. So, yeah, we have those code of conduct where we, give players like guideline how to behave when you meet other players, like be nice and friendly, behave like you, would behave with your friends. But, yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, I think that was it. One last question, maybe?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Sorry. The data that you're collecting, is it ever deleted, or? I just wonder if I would be interested in playing it, but.
So you mean the data we are collecting, we are using them to improve the game?
Yeah, the location data.
Yeah, I mean, you need them to play the game, otherwise you couldn't play the game.
Yeah, but maybe you would only need it for a week or
No, I mean, we use it only for Ingress.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's okay, I'm just asking.
Okay. Was that?
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Anne, again. So.